Welcome, my friends, to a special Labor Day edition of Journal Entry. And this week, I don't necessarily have a huge theme. It's just Labor Day. We are this next week. The football season kicks off. Then, in my opinion, that's when the real build season starts to kick in. I've been having a lot of fun over the last 1 or 2 weeks building a lot of sets. Built the Republic fighter tank, some microfighters. My son and I, while he was playing Roblox. So check out those build experience videos. Some of them may be boring to you, but some of them are pretty funny with my son playing video games in the background. I built the snub fire fighter. That's one of the things with so many different shows over the last 2 years that have kicked off, whether it was Kenobi, whether it was Mandalorian, Andor series, and now Ahsoka. There's just so much going on. There's so many new characters. There's again, like sometimes the timelines I feel like I'm getting mixed up. There's only a couple sets per wave, although Ahsoka is getting a ton of sets, and rightfully so. It's going to be a great show. A lot of great characters, especially the Dark Jedis and stuff like that. These builds are very different. Now they're definitely a little costly. Lego has definitely crept up the prices, whether it's to maintain profitability. In fact, I heard, that Lego even released, I should have looked this up. Maybe that was something, Lego profits down. Yeah, now their revenues are stalling again. Sales up just 1% in the first half of the year. Profits at the toy maker dropped 17.7%. And that's something that it's really hard when you have pandemic spending and then things normalize over time. So in theory, they're still doing really well. It's just that, you can't expect the same that happens during the pandemic. So that's an interesting thing, and that you, as a company, sometimes you get a little bit ahead of yourselves. Look at the tech market, right? The tech companies are doing well, but they way overhired, and you can't just assume that things are going to be exactly the same while you're fighting a normalization of an entire market. So we see that a lot again in tech, where people were buying, let's say, lots of video, and now all of a sudden they already have it. So now you've created this bubble of kind of like a hardware refresh cycle that may take a couple years. Like some of these devices last 3 to 5 years. So if you bought it between 2020 and 2021, nothing's really going to happen until 2024, 2025. So, and then you could see like a mini bubble, and some people may have gone to other devices and other ways of doing things. So, for example, are we really going back to the office? In general. Yeah, there's some mandates out there. There's backlash. There's all sorts of stuff. I think sometimes people don't realize that we're not going back to the way things were. It's just never going to happen. I mean, we're already starting to see like the benefits of work from home is that you don't have to worry about if your employee has COVID or a flu or, let's say, a bug. They can just rest up at home. It can probably log in and do a few things without infecting others in the office. Like, how many times did we always tease or see somebody come in and they're like, oh, I just have allergies, and they're sitting there coughing their lungs up, stuff like that. Or people just fake that they're not sick because they don't want to take a sick day or do whatever. And it's just craziness sometimes, that with things that people do. Or they, again, just sit there and cough, and then it circulates throughout the air in some of these commercial buildings, right? They don't have great ventilation. And so, like, is there really, should we really be working in the office? And then on top of it, for many companies that have brought people back in the office, a lot of them are going to these hoteling. And I can tell you that hoteling essentially takes about 10 to 15 minutes of time twice a day. So it's 30 plus you're adding the commute time. So commute time's anywhere from 15 minutes to 40 minutes. So you're potentially adding in 2 hours per day of lost productivity. Even if you were just straight working from home and you added those 2 hours, let's just say you screwed around while you were working from home for 2 hours straight, I don't buy it. So I think working from home has more than just like individual benefits. I think there's benefits for the company and just getting work done. I mean, it does also, you have to be careful with working from home because it's sometimes you can find yourself just working till 6 o'clock, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because one of the things they teach you is that once you have the energy to do something and you're like engrossed in what you're doing, it's okay to go till 6 o'clock. Heck, if you're at a stopping point at 4:45, why go to 5 o'clock just to be there at 5 o'clock? Why not just stop what you're doing and go off and do something else when you're at a stopping point? So I think these are interesting things that everybody needs to address, going forward in the work. And I don't know why I got on a tangent into the workforce, but I feel like it does directly impact Lego because it's just not going to be the way things used to be. I would say they always have to be constantly evolving. I think they need to take better care of some of their, think about it, the lead themes. So whether it's the Disney side of it, the Star Wars side of it, Ninjago, Monkey Kid, some of these other themes that they've done, even Flowers is a great one. They made that failed experiment with dots. Well, I think it's because they didn't understand the market that they should be playing in, right? They just targeted, they're very narrow targeted. And as soon as the second wave or third wave just starts to see a dip, they're done with it, right? And that could hurt their profits right there. They can't expand and crack into markets. They keep trying to do virtual things. I think it's good. Minecraft is awesome for Lego, but they don't really own Minecraft. They're related, but they don't own Minecraft. That would be the only thing they could really get into is the licensing of a lot of their properties. And so, if anything, they need to dream up. I think they need to go into themes that are really safe and could be extremely profitable, like not making some sort of a new castle, but just going back and doing castle or pirate or just any of these themes. Like they could easily do them, or make sure you've got a really, really strong Star Wars lineup or a really, really strong, anytime the Disney movies come out, that your lineups are really, really tight and strong. And Lego Ideas is really great too. I mean, they can continue to bring people in to the Lego in general with lots of really cool things like the flowers and the insects and different things that they're doing. That can bring in some very casual fans and bring in some really good, profit. They're really the non-high affinity type buyer. So, anyways, I thought that was an interesting thing that Lego is struggling. They're still growing. I mean, to still grow, and I know in tech, a lot of them are not growing, right? They're kind of retracting, right? So with them to grow, although, when profits are dropping, that kind of tells me that they're doing some spending type things that may or may not make any sense. One moment. Hey, what are you doing? The dog is killing his bed. Maybe they are investing in themes that really don't make too much sense. I think in other news they did launch some Braille Lego, so that's really, really interesting stuff. I think there's always one of the things about Lego that's really kept it a strong, from a toy to also an artist medium, which is, I think, really huge for Lego. And also you look at adults, right? So it's a collector. It's an art medium, and then it's also very educational, and it's a toy all at the same time. So Lego's got a great trifecta-ish going on. But one of the things that's interesting is talking about breaking new markets. The Braille Lego. So for people who can't see, would you ever really want to build Lego? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't make sense, but now it could, right? Because they could. I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming you have the ability. I don't know. Maybe you can tell. It tells you what color and it tells you what the brick is, right? So, and you can kind of feel and know what the brick is, but if you know the color, now they could create and build just like any other kid, and that's just really amazing. I don't know how big of the market is for kids that would love to build and are blind, but that would just, think about it. Like if I were to go blind and I still wanted to build, now that first of all, I'd have to learn Braille. I guess you kind of forced to learn Braille, but then to still be able to build, that would be pretty incredible, right? So I think that has chance to be a very niche, successful endeavor, and it's also a wonderful endeavor for the overall kind of I don't know, is it the what's the term that I'm looking for? Just a really brand equity, really a positive image for the community that they're serving more than just profits. That, obviously you need to be profitable, but that you're serving a market that may be underserved. So really, really cool stuff. Other than that, this last week, I have not done too many hauls. There's a lot of stuff that I'd love to get. I'm hearing that the T6 Ahsoka shuttle is already in Costco's at a discount. I badly kind of want that set. I really want to get the Ahsoka figures, especially any of the Dark Jedi. I'm all over those, so like Baylan and others. I just love all these little side characters. I just built the Snub Fighter with Vane in it. And he's just really awesome because when I start building mocks, they're going to be nice inclusions for doing it. So again, it's been a really fun. I'm kind of ramping up, probably another week or two before I start putting any sort of effort into mocks. I have a lot of sorting. I've got to sort out this pick-a-brick wall, so look forward to that sometime either this week or next week. And a lot of reviews now that I'm building some sets. And I'm kind of doing some damage on my backlog. These two were big. The microfighters were good. I always make sure to scan my instruction booklets now so I can get some points. So there may be a scanning party coming up. I've only done some of my sets. I may have to kind of reach into my backlog to scan those sets, just in case that Lego stops that program. It could happen at any time. Although I'm guessing the data that they're receiving on the scanning of the instruction booklets is probably really, really valuable to them. So giving up a little bit of credit for you to go out and get a set, it's probably not a big deal for them in any stretch of the imagination. So that is all. Let me know in the comments, what are you doing to prepare for build season and for football season? Go Packers. I can't wait. Actually, I'm kind of scared at the hype train that is the Packers this year. There's almost too much of a positive vibe, and all it takes is a couple losses will erase any locker room positive vibes that are going on because they'll start questioning different things. But for right now, they look like preseason heroes and are a positive team. We'll see what they're made of. They definitely have a very young team, so I think they'll be susceptible to making some mistakes. Hopefully not large ones, but we'll see. They're definitely a young, exciting team. So let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. The algorithm loves people hitting the like. It really helps me out. I'm marching slowly but surely towards that 500 and then 1,000 subscribers. It's not a big deal to me, but at some point would be nice to hit that milestone. So thank you so much for your support and watching. If you've made it this far, we'll catch you next week on another episode of Journal Entry. Bye for now.